Once upon a time, in a faraway land, lived a wealthy merchant with his 3 lovely daughters. The 2 older daughters were selfish and proud, but the youngest, named Belle, was kind, gentle, and loved to read more than anything else. One day, the merchant lost all his fortune in a storm at sea. The family had to move to a small cottage in the countryside and learn to work for a living. The older sisters complained all day, but Belle worked hard without a single complaint, tending to the garden and keeping the house tidy. A few years later, the merchant heard that one of his ships had finally arrived at the port. He prepared to travel to the city, hoping to recover some of his wealth. "What shall I bring you back, my dears?" he asked his daughters. The 2 eldest asked for expensive gowns and sparkling jewels, but Belle, wanting to be thoughtful, said, "Father, all I wish for is a single beautiful rose." The merchant smiled, kissed his daughters goodbye, and set off on his journey. When he reached the city, he found that his legal troubles were not over, and he was left with barely enough money to return home. Disappointed, he began his journey back through a dark, dense forest. A terrible storm began to rage, and he lost his way. Just when he had lost all hope, he saw a glimmer of light through the trees. It led him to a magnificent, enchanted castle. The gate was open, so he went inside, calling out, but no one answered. The castle was warm and inviting. He found a grand dining hall with a table laden with delicious food. Hungry and tired, he ate his fill and soon fell asleep in a comfortable, prepared bed. The next morning, the merchant felt much better. As he was leaving, he walked through the most beautiful rose garden he had ever seen. Remembering Belle's wish, he reached out and plucked a single, perfect red rose. Suddenly, a terrifying beast appeared. With a roar that shook the ground, he bellowed, "Ungrateful man! I gave you food and shelter, and this is how you repay me? By stealing my most prized possession?" The merchant fell to his knees, terrified. "Forgive me. The rose was for my youngest daughter, Belle. It was all she asked for." The beast considered this. "I will spare your life on one condition," he growled. "You must bring one of your daughters here to live with me in your place." The heartbroken merchant had no choice but to agree. He returned home, his heart heavy with dread. He explained the terrible bargain to his daughters. The 2 eldest sisters wailed and blamed Belle. But Belle, full of love for her father, said calmly, "Do not worry, father. I will go to the castle. A promise is a promise." The next day, Belle and her father rode to the enchanted castle. The beast greeted them. He spoke to Belle in a surprisingly gentle voice. "Did you come here willingly?" "Yes," Belle answered bravely. "Then your father may leave and never return," the beast said. Although she was frightened, Belle discovered the castle was a place of wonders. Every room was filled with magic. Her own room was beautiful, filled with books and a magical mirror that could show her anything she wished to see. The beast was kind to her, though his appearance was fearsome. Every evening at 9, he would join her for dinner. He would ask her, "Belle, do you find me very ugly?" "Yes," she would answer honestly, "but I see that you are good and kind." And every night before he left, he would ask, "Belle, will you marry me?" And every night Belle would politely refuse. "I am sorry, beast, but I cannot." Although she was growing fond of him, she still longed for her family. One evening she looked into her magic mirror and saw her father was very ill, broken-hearted from losing her. She pleaded with the beast, "Please let me go and see him. I promise I will return in 1 week." The beast, seeing her tears, sadly agreed. "Go, Belle, but if you do not return in 7 days, I will die of a broken heart." He gave her a magic ring. "When you are ready to come back, simply turn this ring on your finger." Belle was overjoyed. The next morning, she was magically transported back to her father's cottage. Her father was so happy to see her that he began to recover immediately. Belle's older sisters, however, were jealous of the fine clothes she wore and the incredible stories she told of the castle. They devised a cunning plan. They showered Belle with false affection, begging her to stay just one more day. Belle, with her kind heart, couldn't say no. She stayed past the 7th day, but on the 10th night, she had a terrible dream. She saw the beast lying in his rose garden close to death because she had broken her promise. Horrified, Belle woke up at once. "Oh, I have been so selfish!" she cried. She immediately turned the magic ring on her finger and wished herself back at the castle. She found the beast exactly where she had seen him in her dream, motionless on the ground. She ran to him, her heart pounding with fear. "Oh, beast, please don't die," she sobbed, cradling his head. "I didn't realize until now. I love you." As her tears fell onto his face, a wondrous light enveloped the beast. His fearsome form transformed into that of a handsome prince. He smiled at her. "Belle, your love has broken the curse. A wicked fairy turned me into a beast, and only true love could set me free." Belle was speechless. The castle sprang back to life, and the invisible servants became the prince's loyal staff once more. The prince and Belle were married, and they invited her father to live with them in the magnificent castle. They ruled the kingdom with kindness and love, and they lived happily ever after. Thank you so much for watching our story today. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to give us a thumbs up and make sure you subscribe to our channel for more wonderful fairy tales. See you next time.